To be honest, I started Sekiro Shadows Die Twice 3 times with around 1 month delays. The first attempt finished on Blazing Bull, the second one on Lady Butterfly wall, and only the third one clicked for me, and I believe that may be an interesting experience to share why. Early bosses felt inconsistent. One fight told me to dodge, another punished me for it. Why did Sekiro early game feel so wrong, even unfair, before it suddenly clicked? Because each early boss was secretly teaching me a different piece of the combat system. But the game didn't show me how those pieces fit together until much later. The first real wall for me was a Chained Ogre, and this fight felt completely wrong. He grabbed me, threw me off cliffs, punished hard. I've learned previously that I should deflect, but it didn't work. So at some moment I've started to run and dodge, which was definitely not obvious regarding my previous small experience in Sekiro world, but it worked. So, lesson 1 was learned. Not only deflection can help you, dodge mechanics are still valuable in Sekiro. Then I ran into the Shinobi Hunter. This was the first time I felt like the game was testing me directly. Because the fight introduced something critical, the Mikiri counter. Of course, I've struggled at the start. Spears felt unfair, the range was awkward. But once I understood the Mikiri, everything changed. Instead of backing away, I started stepping into attacks. That felt completely backwards at first, but it was the first moment where Sekiro flipped my instincts. Don't dodge away, step forward. Don't avoid danger, confront it precisely. Mikiri counter was another valuable piece of the puzzle I had to understand to move on. Then came Gyoubu. Big arena, huge presence. It felt like a traditional boss fight, but something was different. This was where I first felt the Sekiro pushing me toward aggression. I noticed that staying close, attacking constantly, and building posture was actually effective. But here's the thing, I didn't have to play that way. I could still back off, play safe, chip away slowly, and I would still win. I could see the rhythm, deflect, attack, pressure, but I wasn't forced to commit to it. So I ended up playing in between styles. Sometimes aggressive, sometimes passive, but to be honest, in the end that made everything feel inconsistent. Because I hadn't fully committed to how Sekiro actually wanted me to play. Just when I thought I was starting to understand the game, I hit the Blazing Bull. And everything fell apart again. The fight felt chaotic, fast, hard to control. And the structure I thought I was learning just disappeared. So I went back to what felt safe, running, dodging, reacting. It seems to work at first, but then the perfect deflect came out, and I understood that even then predictable beasts like this can be sometimes beaten using perfect parry. Oh, that was even more confusing, but it worked. On that moment I had multiple working strategies, but no clear understanding of what the right one was. It still felt like randomness. And then I reached Genichiro and Lady Butterfly. This was the moment where the game stopped letting me get away with anything. Everything I had been doing up to that point stopped working. Dodging constantly, punished. Playing safe, overwhelmed. Hesitating, destroyed. These bosses left me no choice but to engage with the whole Sekiro fighting system properly. I had to deflect consistently, stay aggressive, control posture, and much more. There were no shortcuts, no easier way out, and that is where it finally clicked. It clicked for me on Lady Butterfly first, and Genichiro was the one that I've got back to more or less ready. Suddenly everything made sense. Mikiri wasn't truly optional. Deflection wasn't risky, it was essential. Aggression wasn't reckless, it was required. And dodge is still required sometimes. And now I understand that every boss in Sekiro before these guys had been teaching me something. Ogre dodge, Shinobi Hunter Mikiri, Gyoubu aggression, Bal adaptivity. There is no one right pattern to beat the boss, there are always different options in different circumstances. These are my lessons learned and why Sekiro's early game felt so wrong to me. Not because it was broken, but because each early game boss actually gave me the piece of the Sekiro fight system puzzle, which has to be aggregated before the real challenge in the mid-end game starts. Thanks for watching, hit that like button and subscribe for more Sekiro Shadows Die Twice guides and lore videos, and stay sharp out there, Shinobi.